Hi, Davir here, and today we have a new episode in the Art Review series. And today we'll be checking out the work of Jida. They're very similar to the South Korean artists we've reviewed recently. So perhaps I'm gonna have to add Jida on the list, but they're a bit different. They don't showcase like their super rendered stuff. I do see a lot more sketches or grayscale sketches. I think they're leaning in more like, or they're more similar to Wan Yang Yen because they do like to showcase more of their sketches rather than like full rendered like illustrations. I've seen this piece before on Pinterest. It's constantly sort of reposted. And thankfully one of them did have the link to Jida's Twitter or X profile, so here we are. If you look at the brushwork, I think again they're just using like a basic default brush, and yet there is some shading, obviously with the hair and the I guess the tank top or bra. But it's more like, yeah, it's getting a little painted, I guess. Maybe they're using some soft brushes because it's not as sharp. It feels blurred, or I'm not sure if it's blurred because it's a lower resolution photo or image. I'm not sure. But there is some blur to it in a way. So I'm not sure if it's from the brush. The one in the middle looks too risky, so we'll ignore it for a while. So I do see some structure beforehand. You do see some random sort of doodles or studies or sketches around, like on top of the head. Around here, so that's cool. But I guess they're doing like a face study showing like the lighting, right? Interesting. I think they're using like really basic brushes. So yeah, and they do a lot more grayscale sketches, which I think is very valuable because you do understand a lot of ideas, lighting wise, value wise, and you don't always need color. And I do think a lot of these artists, they do paint it in grayscale and then eventually they just add the color after the values have been decided beforehand. Because I think that's a much easier process. Oh, look at this stud. Damn, freaking Chad over here. Right, there you go. Look at those knees. I like how the closest leg to us still has a bit of that initial drawing. But the one further back does have, like, it's getting more gone because it's being painted over. But look at that. I do notice they sort of stylize it a bit. It's kind of like Final Fantasy. If you've seen, like, I don't play the game, but I've seen like some of the movies. Yeah, they're semi-realistic sort of proportions. Basically everyone is sort of pretty looking. So there you go. That's in there. That's in there. So we have Legolas over here, I think. But I do like seeing stuff like this where it's still unfinished. The closest artist I can think of who does this sort of approach, or who has a similar approach, is Wan Yang Yen. Although his proportions are a bit different or more stylized than, say, Jida over here. Jida is very similar to, I don't know, Jisoo maybe? Miss Jisoo. She also likes painting or drawing with like ink pens as well, or watercolor or wash pens. Brushes. Now this one does look a lot like Wan Yang Yen. The facial proportions anyway, but so they are using some kind of square bristle. I think it's a default Photoshop brush. A very basic brush, right? This one does have a bit of texture. This one reminds me of one of those. Oh, nice feet there. The Chinese anime. I'm not sure what Chinese anime is called. Demon Cultivation something. This is what it reminds me of, that sort of show. Right? Lots of grayscale studies where it's just focused on one spot. And I think these types of studies are very it saves you time. Like, you don't have to do like a full sort of thing. You can do like a spot study where you're just focusing on like one spot. For example, if you look at this character over here, you're stopping at the chest and maybe you're showing a little bit of the shoulders, but that's it. You're not going any further, and that's enough. So I think spot studies are very valuable because you don't have to waste so much time studying the whole thing when that's not even your priority at the moment. And first of all, we don't even have that much time because we do get busy and stuff like that. So it's nice to be able to. Oh, this one's a bit more simplified. But I think they did a good job at showing a little bit of the values here, because even though it's kind of like small or like a thumbnail sort of thing, it still feels real because the values are correct, you know? Let me just have some coffee here. Interesting, they do have a bit of a reference photo on the side. So I think this is how sketchbooks are supposed to be. But you basically have one big canvas and you do whatever you want. And you spend some of those minutes or hours doing some studies like this. It's like a spot study where you really dive in and try to explore a specific thing. In this case, they're trying to study like the mouth, right? Even the hair looks great. So maybe they did have reference for that as well. But if you look at the hair, you do see some brushes being used, a round brush and the flat brush. But they're more like opacity based, meaning you have to build the paint stroke by stroke. It's not like one big stroke. So I've noticed that with these artists, they like the whole stroke by stroke sort of thing, more than say an opaque look, right? Oh, so this is the sketch, and on the left hand side we do have the reference photo. So it shows you that a lot of these top-notch artists are using reference. So stop the cope, let's use reference, and it's okay because it's gonna influence our art anyway. Like look at how this is the original photo, but eventually this style of the artist is gonna show, right? Because you're gonna want to draw the way your hand wants to draw. Even if you have reference, it's not going to be completely the same unless you really force it to be the same. And that's kind of how style becomes your style. Like whatever you try to illustrate, copy. This one does seem a little more opaque, meaning they have like a flat base for the hair, for the skin, for the coat or jacket. And then they're painting on top of it. And if you look at the base, it's very opaque. Like there's no transparency at all. So that's why this types of illustrations, they look more solid. Let me just see this process video. Okay. Why is it? It's taking so long to. So rough sketch after rough sketch. And look at how messy it is. Look at how many times they have to like go over the same layer, right? Until they eventually find something. And I think seeing stuff like this is very cool because it shows you that you don't get this in like one shot. You sort of have to keep trying until you find something that works. It reminds me of the process of Ato Moon. Check out their channel, Ato, ATOMOON. They do have the same approach where sometimes it does, or it usually starts like sort of messy when it comes to their pencil sketches, but eventually they find something that works. And they build on that. They don't try to hide the fact that in the beginning it's gonna be wild. It's gonna take some trial and error to be able to get somewhere decent. Look at this guy. There you go. Kawaii. Oh, they're showing a little bit of their brushwork. It has a bit of like texture, like paper texture, right? Interesting. So it does make it look a little more charcoal-ish. So yeah, it's very realistic, although I do notice they make the eyes a little bigger. Look at this one. So we do have some color studies here. They're practicing a little bit of their blending. You will see this a lot in like pastel paintings or drawings where they like mixing in a bunch of hues. And I do like it. It makes it look more alive because in real life we do see a lot of colors. Or whenever you take a photo, if you just color pick that image, you're gonna see a bunch of different colors being or existing. But oftentimes we don't really focus on it or see it. Okay, so look at this reference photo. Right, this is the base, and then look at how far it is. Like whenever you do studies, you don't have to completely copy the reference photo. You can just use it as a base, a guideline, a reference. It's just there to be referenced. Not to be copied. But look at that. Very interesting. So here we have more of a color study. But again, look at their strokes. It's a back and forth sort of thing. which I do like. It's easier to sculpt things this way compared to say a big brush sort of thing, because it feels like you have to get it right from the beginning when you have like a big brush and stuff like that. But here you're kind of like painting with a pencil. Sometimes it feels like it feels like that anyway, right? Look at, oh my god, so naughty. No. So we have some BL over here. There you go. Look at that. It's so luscious. Okay, let's move on. Ooh, now this one is going into like illustration territory, like typical, like the kind of illustrations we've explored on the channel, where it's super high quality. This one too. This post has been reposted several times on Pinterest as well. So thankfully, now we know it's from Jida. This one's colored, pretty cool too. So you will see some experimentations here and there when it comes to there. But when they experiment, it's like sketches, and that's what's cool. Whenever you sketch, you can experiment much more. You don't have to bring it to like a full illustration. This one does seem more like a painting, it's more opaque. I do like it. I do like the way the hair is simplified. It's really just a silhouette, right? And I do like the brush because it looks like strand. Like you can see some extra like bristle strands, and it makes sense for like the hair. And even when you apply that to this like the skin, the face, it looks like a very like natural brush. You know, those imperfections, it just works. Oh, look at this guy. Chad over here. Oh, look at the, oh, damn. Looking a bit hot there. Luscious lips, red eyes. Okay. Grayscale again. I do like these ones. Oh, look at the brush, the jacket or coat brush. Yeah, it's like a basic bristle brush that's sort of square-ish. Now for the face, the lips are very luscious, very pouting lips. We got some elf ears. The nose is so realistic. You know, in anime sometimes it's almost like they're erasing the nose to the point where it doesn't even exist sometimes, where all you can see is the shadow. But for this, like Jida over here, they do like really rendering like the lips, the nose, the eyes. They spend a little more time doing that. But yeah, I do like it. It's kind of hot. There you go. I'm not even sure if this is a guy or a chick. It doesn't matter. Oh, LA. So we're close to Christmas. It's November now, so I think this is, what is that heel or aqua thing she's holding in her hand? So, oh, I think it's in the reverse. Studio. Oh, it's right there. Studio shaping sound. So it's maybe like a speaker or something. I was thinking of something else. Oh no. But I do like the painting. Right? It's not like fully like tight and rendered, but it's enough. Oh, you can definitely tell that the face is way more like tight or rendered. And I do see a lot of like soft brushes being used, or at the very least I see like a very like subtle gradations. Can we zoom in just a little bit? I wanna look at, look at the, and like the artists we reviewed recently, they do like showing the line work, the pencil work. It's not really ink, like a black, like dark, super opaque line. It's like a pencil sort of thing. And they do like leaving that in. And the lips, the nose, the eyes, they are a bit like exaggerated maybe. The eyes and the lips, definitely. The nose is kind of left small. But yeah, if you look at like the skin around the, like the eyes, the nose, the lips, it's more, I do see a lot of like soft stuff. Maybe they're using a mixer brush or some kind of blending brush to achieve this look. But it's so, it's hard to see the strokes already. So, but yeah, even the shadow of like in the eyes, it's so realistic. He's hot. Oh, round brush, see? And I do like that look where you just sort of where you don't render it fully. It just feels more, and you focus on like 10%. It's usually gonna be the face if it's like a character, but yeah. This one too has been reposted a lot on Pinterest. Again, spot, sort of steady illustration. Look at the face. Look at the shadow being casted by the nose and a bit of the mouth. Let me just zoom in on this one. There you go. There we go. Oh, it's a big one. Look at this. Look at, oh, frick. Oh, so now you see, perhaps you have to really zoom in to be able to see like the strokes. But if you zoom out, it's almost like it's hard to see the strokes because it's that small. So I guess they do paint really big. And they try to render it as much from this level, so when you zoom out, it feels so like smooth. Almost as if you're using like a blending brush or a mixer brush. You can even see a little bit of that jitter or brush spacing, which does add a little bit of that texture, which is not a bad thing. You do see a little bit of those initial sketches, those pencil drawings that I mentioned. Look at that. Very good with values. Right? And then from here, they just add the color. And there are many processes for doing that where you do the grayscale value first, value sort of drawing or rendering first. And then you add the colors later. Because I think it's also very advantageous because you can, let's say you need to change the color scheme, you can always go back and change it quickly, right? Oh, look at this. Let me just zoom in because I think there are more photos here. Oh, one with glasses, one without. Oh, look at that. Kind of reminds me a little bit, well, not really, but I was gonna say the Jujutsu Kaisen sister, well, teacher, but she had like a brother, but it's pretty far off actually. But again, look at the eyes and nose. The nose is the most realistic one. The lips are sort of really huge, very luscious looking lips. I do like the hair though. Reminds me of Mahito a little bit, the gray hair, right? Leaving the pencil line work in. It's not really like line work. It's more like a sketch or drawing, but it's not like meant to be so tight. Pretty cool study here, right? So check out the work of Jida. I do recommend their work, and yeah, you do see a lot more sketches. So it's nice seeing this because, I mean, one of you mentioned, I saw a comment where because in the for some of the videos I've been doing. Well, not just my videos, but in general, you do see artists who post like really finished stuff. So oftentimes I guess it's somewhat intimidating or something because you feel like it's like you can't catch up. But what you don't actually see is all of this that they actually do behind the scenes. So it's nice seeing this more sketchbook form because you can look at the side, for example, this one. You can see some random like drawings everywhere. Like the studies, doodles. Like this is how oftentimes my sketchbook will look like, or a page or a sheet in my like study session. Like 90% of it is gonna be like random stuff, almost like unintelligible. Like you don't even know what it is, and then maybe there's like a 10% part there where it actually looks like something that you could show to someone. So it's nice seeing this sort of images. So that's it for this art review of Jida. Check out the work. I will link the links in the description below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.